Isekai, the genre where getting hit by a truck is just another way to level up your life. Let's be real, the Isekai and fantasy scene is flooded with shows. But while everyone's hyping the same dozen titles, there's a secret tier of underrated masterpieces no one's talking about. We're talking insane world building, opt protagonists with actual personalities, and fantasy realms so wild they make the popular stuff look basic. So summon your squad, equip your plot armor, and let's dive into the top 10 underrated isekai and fantasy anime you need to be watching. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life? Misato dies saving someone and asks the gods for just one thing, a peaceful average life. Their idea of average exactly halfway between the weakest creature and the strongest. Being alive, yeah, she's insanely overpowered. Reborn as Adele von Ascom, she tries her best to lay low, and fails hilariously. Fourth wall breaks a wholesome adventurer girl squad, and chaos everywhere. This is one of the funniest, most charming isekai shows out there, underrated comedy gold. Drifter's Blood Strategy Carnage. This one's not for the faint of heart. Real historical warriors, like samurai and warlords, get dragged into a brutal fantasy world and thrown into an all-out war. Some want to save it, others want to burn it. Raw animation, savage battles, morally complex characters, and all from the creator of Hellsing. If you like your fantasy dark, dirty, and unpredictable, watch Drift. God, what happens when a portal to a fantasy world opens in modern-day Tokyo? You send in the military, of course. Gate follows the JSDF as they enter a fantasy realm full of elves, dragons, and magic, armed with tanks, helicopters, and full-blown modern firepower. At the center of it all is Itomi, a laid-back otaku soldier who balances missions, diplomacy, and rescuing elf girls, while trying to keep both worlds from tearing each other apart. More than just guns versus magic hits, a sharp political drama with real-world parallels. Fantasy meets military realism in the best way possible. If you're vibing with the list so far, smash that like button and subscribe for more underrated anime picks from Anime Senpai. And hey, if we missed your favorite hidden gem, drop it in the comments. Back to the countdown. I'm standing on a million, live, stark, gritty, and actually dangerous. This isekai doesn't play around. Yusuke gets dragged into a twisted game world with real consequences. You die, you respawn, fail the mission, everyone dies. Game over. Isn't your usual hero? He's cold, logical, even ruthless. But that's what makes his development so satisfying. No plot armor, no friendship speeches, just brutal choices and harsh realities. A perfect pick for fans of morally gray MCs and real tension. Knights in Magic-e Mecha Otaku dies and is reborn in a world where magic-powered robots are real. And this time, he's gonna build them himself. Ernesty is a genius engineer who doesn't just pilot these machines, he upgrades, redesigns, and breaks every limit the world has set. The attention to detail is insane, and the passion for robots shines through every episode. If you're into fantasy tech and big brain MCS, this one's a hidden gem. My next life as a villainess, all routes lead to doom. Reincarnated as the villainess of an Otomi game, Katarina Clays knows exactly how her story ends. Exile or death. So she goes full chaos mode to avoid all the bad endings. The result? She accidentally builds a massive reverse harem and becomes everyone's favorite character. It's sweet, it's chaotic, it's comfort food for your anime soul. No edginess, just pure, wholesome fun. So I'm a spider. So what? This show is two anime in one. One half political drama and fantasy war. The other half, a high school girl reborn as a spider trapped alone in a monster-infested dungeon. No gear, no party, just raw survival instincts. And chaotic energy, her evolution is insane. The world building is deep, and Komoko is one of the most unhinged yet lovable protagonists in anime. Sure, the animation's inconsistent, but the story, top tier. The eighth son? Are you kidding me? Imagine going to bed after a long workday and waking up as a 6-year-old in a broke noble family in the middle of nowhere. That's the life of Shingo. Now Wendelin, the eighth son of a powerless house. He's got 0 resources. No influence, but surprise he's got talent for rare magic. Cue the rise from forgotten noble to magical powerhouse. It's got politics, magic, and some underrated gloat moments. Not a game changer, but it's way better than you'd expect. The Dungeon of Black Company. Have you ever hated your job so much you'd rather be Isekai? Well, be careful what you wish for. Kinji is living the neat dream, rich, lazy, thriving, until he gets transported to a fantasy world and ends up deep in debt, forced to work in a dungeon mining company. Yep, capitalism followed him to another world, but Kinji's not playing by the rules. He scams, schemes, and hustles his way up the corporate food chain with pure chaotic energy. Hilarious, satirical, uncomfortably relatable.
今度無茶したら家から出さないからな。
わかったよと。
気がついて。
お父さん。
旦那様から伺っ
Ascendance of a Bookworm. Forget swords and dragons this. Isekai is about books, and somehow it's more intense than most action anime. Arano, a book-loving girl, dies and wakes up in a medieval world where books are basically priceless artifacts. So what does she do? Invented printing from scratch. It's slow-paced, grounded, and realistic. But that's what makes it so inspiring. A story about changing the world through knowledge and perseverance. And that's a wrap on our top 10 underrated isekai and fantasy anime list. Seen any of these? Got your hidden favorites? Drop it in the comments. If you enjoyed the ride, hit that like button, subscribe, and check out our top 10 upcoming anime of summer 2025 for what's next on the horizon. Catch you in the next adventure. And remember, stay OP, stay weird, stay isekai.